Eat Your Ice Cream. 6 Simple Rules for a Long and Healthy Life by Dr. Ezekiel J. Emanuel. Introduction. The Wellness Industrial Complex Problem. Welcome to this summary of Eat Your Ice Cream by Dr. Ezekiel J. Emanuel, an oncologist, bioethicist, and health policy expert who helped architect the Affordable Care Act. Every day we're bombarded with health advice from countless sources, influencers, podcasts, newsletters, and videos. The wellness industrial complex creates overwhelming confusion with conflicting recommendations and expensive, time-consuming regimens. Dr. Emanuel's central argument is refreshingly simple. Life isn't a competition to live the longest, and wellness shouldn't be difficult. Instead, it should be an invisible part of your lifestyle that delivers maximum health benefits with minimum effort. The book's provocative title captures its essence. Don't obsess over every health decision. Make wellness enjoyable and sustainable, or you won't maintain it for the decades required to actually benefit your longevity. This summary will walk you through Dr. Emanuel's 6 evidence-based rules, cutting through pseudoscience to reveal what genuinely matters for a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. Part 1. Don't be a schmuck. Avoiding unnecessary risks. The first major principle in Dr. Emanuel's framework focuses on what you should avoid rather than what you should add to your life. This reflects an important insight about human psychology. We have an additive bias, constantly looking to add new things rather than eliminating harmful ones. The foundation of risk avoidance. The simplest way to improve your health and longevity is to stop doing stupid, risky things. We all know smoking is terrible, but what many don't realize is that vaping isn't safe either. These aren't minor lifestyle choices. They're significant threats to longevity that undermine every other healthy behavior you might adopt, beyond smoking and vaping. This rule encompasses being thoughtful about unnecessary risks in daily life. Reckless driving, excessive alcohol consumption, and dangerous recreational activities all fall into this category. The point isn't to live in fear or avoid all adventure, but to distinguish between calculated risks that enrich life and foolish risks that jeopardize it. The Don't Be a Schmuck philosophy. Dr. Emanuel uses colorful language deliberately. Being a schmuck means being inconsiderate, selfish, or engaging in behaviors that harm yourself or others without good reason. This extends beyond physical risks to how you treat people and conduct yourself socially. Being kind, considerate, and responsible isn't just morally right, it's actually good for your health. People who maintain positive social relationships and treat others well tend to live longer, healthier lives. Conversely, those who are chronically difficult, hostile, or isolated face worse health outcomes. The message is clear. Some of the most important health interventions cost nothing and require no special equipment. They simply require making better choices about obvious risks and treating people decently. Part 2. You are what you eat, food and nutrition. Simplified. Manual tackles one of the most confusing areas of wellness, nutrition. Despite endless fad diets and conflicting advice, the fundamentals of healthy eating are surprisingly straightforward when you focus on robust scientific evidence. The Mediterranean Diet Foundation. The gold standard for healthy eating, supported by the strongest scientific evidence, is the Mediterranean diet. This isn't about strict rules or deprivation. It's about patterns of eating that have sustained healthy populations for generations. The core components include plenty of vegetables and fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and olive oil as the primary fat source. Fish and poultry are preferred over red meat. Dairy products, particularly yogurt and cheese, are consumed in moderation. The diet naturally limits processed foods, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. What makes this approach sustainable is its flexibility and flavor. Mediterranean cuisine is diverse and delicious, making it easy to maintain long term, rather than feeling like a restrictive diet. What about everything else? Dr. Emanuel systematically addresses the wellness trends that dominate headlines. Intermittent fasting? The evidence suggests it's the caloric restriction that matters, not the timing. Supplements? Most people don't need them if they're eating a balanced diet. A multivitamin is fine if you want insurance, but megadoses of specific vitamins rarely help and can sometimes harm. Organic foods? They're not significantly more nutritious than conventional produce, so buy organic if you prefer, but don't stress if you can't afford it. The important thing is eating more vegetables overall, regardless of whether they're organic. Coffee is fine and may even have health benefits. Green tea is good too. The key is avoiding excessive added sugars in your beverages. The social dimension of eating. One of Emmanuel's most important insights about food isn't nutritional, but social. Cooking and eating are inherently social activities that keep your mind engaged and strengthen relationships. Following recipes, experimenting with new dishes, and sharing meals with others all contribute to cognitive health and social connection, both crucial for longevity. Eating alone regularly is associated with poorer health outcomes. Whenever possible, share meals with others. Even casual conversations with strangers at a restaurant bar count as meaningful social engagement. And yes, eat your ice cream. The book's title isn't just provocative, it's essential to Emmanuel's philosophy. Ice cream, in moderation, represents the importance of enjoyment and reward in a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. It's a good dairy product with protein, and the saturated fats in ice cream are in a form that's less harmful than those in red meat. More importantly, ice cream is typically consumed socially and brings happiness. Both social connection and positive emotions are crucial for longevity. A life spent anxiously avoiding every possible indulgence isn't healthier or happier. The key is moderation and making these treats part of a balanced, joyful life. Part 3. Move your body. Exercise that actually works. Exercise is non-negotiable for health and longevity, but Dr. Emanuel cuts through the confusion about what type and how much you really need. The evidence-based exercise prescription. The scientific consensus supports a combination of aerobic exercise and strength training. For aerobic activity, aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity. Moderate intensity means you can talk but not sing during the activity. Vigorous means you can only say a few words before needing to catch your breath. This can be as simple as brisk walking, swimming, cycling, or dancing. The important thing is finding activities you actually enjoy, because you need to sustain this for decades, not weeks. Strength training should be incorporated at least twice per week, working all major muscle groups. This doesn't require a gym membership or expensive equipment. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or simple weights at home are sufficient. Why exercise matters beyond weight. While exercise helps with weight management, its benefits extend far beyond calories burned. Regular physical activity reduces risks for heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, and cognitive decline. It improves mood, sleep quality, and maintains muscle mass and bone density as we age. Perhaps most importantly, exercise improves your quality of life in the present. It increases energy, reduces stress, and helps you maintain independence and mobility as you age. Making exercise sustainable. Dr. Emanuel emphasizes that exercise shouldn't feel like punishment. If you hate running, don't run. If you find joy in dancing, dance. If you prefer team sports, join a recreational league. The social benefits of group exercise add another layer of value. The worst exercise program is the one you won't stick with. The best is the one that becomes an integrated, enjoyable part of your life. This might mean walking meetings, family bike rides, or playing with your children or grandchildren. Movement doesn't have to happen in a gym to count. Part 4. Sleep well. The foundation of health. Sleep is perhaps the most undervalued health behavior in modern society. Dr. Emanuel makes clear that sleep isn't negotiable. It's fundamental to virtually every aspect of health and longevity. How much sleep do you really need? Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Individual needs vary, but very few people actually thrive on less than 7 hours, despite claims to the contrary. Chronic sleep deprivation accumulates a sleep debt that can't be fully repaid with weekend catch-up sleep. Quality matters as much as quantity. Deep sleep and REM sleep perform different essential functions, from memory consolidation to cellular repair. Fragmented sleep, even if technically long enough in duration, doesn't provide the same benefits as consolidated, quality sleep. The health consequences of poor sleep. Insufficient sleep increases risks for obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, weakened immunity, and cognitive decline. It impairs judgment, reaction time, and emotional regulation. Chronic sleep deprivation has effects similar to alcohol intoxication on cognitive performance. The connection between sleep and mental health is bidirectional. Poor sleep worsens mood and anxiety, while stress and mental health issues disrupt sleep. Prioritizing sleep often has cascading positive effects on other aspects of health and well-being. Practical sleep hygiene. Dr. Emanuel provides straightforward advice for better sleep. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a cool, dark, quiet sleeping environment. Limit screen time before bed, as blue light disrupts natural sleep-wake cycles. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon and evening, and limit alcohol, which may help you fall asleep but disrupts sleep quality. If you struggle with insomnia, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, is more effective than sleep medications for long-term improvement. Regular exercise helps sleep, but not too close to bedtime. The message is clear. Treat sleep as sacred. It's not lazy or unproductive. It's essential maintenance for your body and mind. Part 5. Stay mentally sharp. Cognitive engagement and purpose. Dr. Emanuel challenges common assumptions about aging and retirement, arguing that staying mentally engaged is crucial for maintaining cognitive function and overall health. The retirement paradox. Research shows that retirement often leads to more rapid cognitive decline. This doesn't mean everyone should work forever, but it does mean that retirement requires intentional planning to maintain mental engagement and purpose. The problem isn't leaving paid employment per se. It's the loss of structure, intellectual challenge, and social connection that often accompanies traditional retirement. People who transition to meaningful volunteer work, serious hobbies, learning new skills, or other engaging activities can maintain or even improve cognitive function. What counts as mental engagement? Reading books and staying informed matters, but passive consumption isn't enough. Active engagement is key. Learning new skills, taking classes, solving complex problems, creating things, or teaching others. These activities build cognitive reserve and maintain neural plasticity. Cooking is an excellent example of meaningful cognitive engagement. Following complex recipes, timing multiple components, adjusting for ingredients and conditions, all while planning meals and shopping strategically, exercises multiple cognitive domains simultaneously. Taking up a new hobby isn't enough if you approach it casually. Dr. Emanuel emphasizes doing things seriously, committing to real learning and skill development, not just dabbling. Learning a musical instrument, mastering a new language, developing expertise in a craft, or engaging in competitive strategy games all qualify if pursued with genuine dedication. Purpose and meaning. Beyond cognitive challenge, having a sense of purpose is independently associated with longevity and health. Purpose can come from many sources: meaningful work, caring for family, community involvement, creative pursuits, or spiritual practice. The key is finding activities that provide a sense of meaning and contribution beyond mere self-interest. Volunteering, mentoring, activism for causes you care about, or creating things that benefit others all contribute to this sense of purpose. People with strong social ties and sense of purpose recover better from illness, experience less cognitive decline, and live longer on average than those who lack these connections. Part 6. Build and maintain social connections. If there's one factor that Dr. Emanuel emphasizes above all others for health and longevity, it's social connection. This is perhaps the most important and most neglected aspect of wellness in modern wellness culture. The loneliness epidemic. Social isolation and loneliness have health impacts comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. They increase risks for heart disease, stroke, dementia, depression, and premature death. Yet modern life increasingly isolates us through remote work, digital communication replacing face-to-face interaction, and the breakdown of community institutions. The quality of social connections matters more than quantity. Having a few close, meaningful relationships provides more health benefit than numerous superficial acquaintances, though both have value. Regular, in-person interaction is particularly important. Digital communication is better than nothing, but doesn't fully replace face-to-face connection. Building social connection deliberately, Dr. Emanuel emphasizes that social connection requires deliberate effort, especially as we age. Natural sources of connection from school, work, or raising children may diminish. You can't just let nature take its course. You must actively cultivate and maintain relationships. This means regularly scheduling time with friends and family, joining groups or clubs aligned with your interests, volunteering in your community, and being open to casual interactions with neighbors, service workers, and strangers. Those brief conversations at coffee shops, grocery stores, or restaurants contribute to well-being. The role of social support. Strong social networks provide practical support during health challenges, encouraging healthy behaviors and providing resources during crises. They also provide emotional support, reducing stress and improving mental health. Marriage and partnership are associated with better health outcomes, likely due to the combination of companionship, practical support, and encouragement of healthy behaviors. However, the quality of the relationship matters enormously. A stressful, conflictual relationship can be worse for health than being single. Shared experiences and activities. Many of the other health behaviors Dr. Emanuel discusses are enhanced by doing them socially. Exercising with others, sharing meals, pursuing hobbies in groups, or volunteering together all combine multiple health benefits simultaneously. His own background illustrates this principle powerfully. Growing up with his brothers, including Rahm Emanuel, former Chicago mayor, and Ari Emanuel, Hollywood superagent. He learned early that social interaction, taking responsibility for others, and navigating relationships were fundamental skills. His parents didn't hover or micromanage. They taught independence and social competence, sending young children to navigate public transportation and care for each other. Part 7. What Doesn't Work? Debunking Wellness. Myths. Throughout the book, Dr. Emanuel systematically dismantles popular wellness trends that lack solid evidence or are actively harmful. Supplements and superfoods. The supplement industry is largely unregulated and makes claims far beyond what evidence supports. For most people eating a reasonably balanced diet, supplements provide little to no benefit. Exceptions include vitamin D for those with limited sun exposure, B12 for some older adults or vegetarians, and folic acid for women of childbearing age. Superfoods are marketing terms, not scientific categories. Blueberries are healthy, but not magically more so than other fruits and vegetables. Eating a diverse range of whole foods matters far more than loading up on any single super ingredient. Expensive health tracking and optimization. Biohacking, continuous glucose monitors for non-diabetics, extensive genetic testing, and other high-tech interventions are mostly unnecessary for healthy individuals. They can create anxiety and don't typically lead to meaningful health improvements beyond what basic healthy behaviors achieve. Your body doesn't need to be optimized like a machine. Normal fluctuations in blood sugar, heart rate, sleep patterns, and other metrics are just that. Normal. Obsessing over these numbers can be counterproductive, creating stress that undermines health. Anti-aging interventions. The evidence for most anti-aging supplements, hormones, or procedures is weak to non-existent. Some, like high-dose antioxidant supplements, may even be harmful. The behaviors discussed throughout this book, boring as they may seem compared to cutting-edge interventions, are what actually work to slow aging and extend healthy life. Dr. Emanuel is skeptical of claims about radical life extension. Living to 75, 85, or 95 with good quality of life is achievable with current knowledge. Claims about living to 120 or beyond are speculative at best and distract from practical interventions available now. Conclusion. The philosophy of sustainable wellness, eat your ice cream, represents a fundamental shift in how we think about health and longevity. Instead of treating wellness as an arms race against aging, requiring constant vigilance and sacrifice, Dr. Emanuel presents it as a sustainable lifestyle that should be enjoyable and integrated seamlessly into daily life. The 75-year rule. Dr. Emanuel has famously stated that 75 years is a reasonable lifespan to aim for, prioritizing quality over quantity. This isn't about giving up at 75, but about focusing on living well rather than living endlessly. The goal isn't to squeeze out every possible year through extreme interventions, but to maintain vitality, independence, and engagement for as long as you live. This perspective is liberating. It means you can enjoy ice cream without guilt, skip the expensive supplements, and focus on what genuinely matters: meaningful work, close relationships, staying active and engaged, and treating yourself and others with kindness. Making it sustainable. The common thread through all 6 rules is sustainability. Crash diets fail because they're unsustainable. Extreme exercise regimens end in burnout or injury. Obsessive health tracking creates stress and anxiety. Perfect adherence to all wellness recommendations is impossible and not even desirable. Instead, find versions of healthy behaviors that you actually enjoy. Love the food you eat. Find physical activities that bring you joy. Cultivate friendships that enrich your life. Get enough sleep because you feel better when you do, not because you're terrified of the consequences if you don't. The social fabric of health. If there's one overarching theme that elevates this book beyond typical wellness advice, it's the recognition that health is fundamentally social. Nearly every health behavior is enhanced by doing it with others and within the context of meaningful relationships and community. Dr. Emanuel's upbringing with his brothers taught him that social skills, responsibility for others, and strong relationships are foundational. These lessons, combined with his expertise as a physician and health policy expert, inform his conviction that loneliness and isolation are among the greatest health threats we face. Practical implementation. So, how do you actually implement these 6 simple rules? Start where you are. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Stop doing clearly harmful things like smoking or excessive drinking. Shift your diet gradually toward more vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, without obsessing over perfection. Find physical activities you enjoy and build them into your routine. Protect your sleep schedule. Seek out intellectual challenges and meaningful pursuits. Most importantly, invest in relationships and community. Remember that these behaviors should enhance your life, not restrict it. The ice cream is both literal and metaphorical, allowing yourself pleasure, treating life as something to be enjoyed rather than merely endured, and recognizing that happiness and social connection are themselves health interventions. Final thoughts. Eat Your Ice Cream offers a refreshingly sane approach to health in an era of wellness extremism. Dr. Emanuel's message is both reassuring and empowering. You don't need expensive supplements, extreme diets, or the latest biohacking gadgets to live a long, healthy life. You need to do the basics consistently, make them enjoyable enough to sustain for decades, and invest in relationships and purpose. The evidence is clear and convergent. The Mediterranean diet, regular exercise, sufficient sleep, mental engagement, social connection, and avoiding stupid risks form the foundation of health and longevity. Everything else is noise. Live well, treat people kindly, stay connected and engaged, and yes, eat your ice cream. That's not just good advice for a longer life, it's good advice for a better one.